now want to move into the next page of the book. And this is where the first thing we're going to do is come back to those 12-month goals. And what I'm asking you guys to do is choose the top 3 most important things you want to achieve. But I'm going to give a little bit more guidance here than we usually do. So usually we let you just choose those goals and people run off and choose the goals. This year we're going to try to guide a little bit more. So you'll see on the sheet that we have time, money, and team and leadership as 3 categories. I'm trying to make those non-negotiable. Now, you don't work for me, so you can do whatever the hell you want, really. But my guide here is have a goal as it relates to time. So what falls under time? So here's a couple of examples. So we want to create more tools that our clients and business owners need that help you run your business more efficiently. So if you remember at last Growth Club, we introduced the calculator, that helps you connect your business to your financial plan. We just introduced you guys that financial plan builder. And so our goal this year is to have 5. And so we've listed that there. This is for our 2024. We want to have 5 tools that really make an impact. Identify the biggest, how we're going to do it. Identify the biggest client coach performance gap. So where do we struggle with you? Where do you struggle in your business? And how can we solve it with something? And then we're going to pick the 5 most critical, and the people that are responsible for that are really the 3 of us. We're going to figure that stuff out. And that is our time goal. Our money goal, I just threw this number up here. But how would I do it? Okay, well, one coach has to do $1 million, another one has to do 2, another one has to do 1, right? Arif, Joe, Matt, Joe. How are we going to achieve that? Develop that strategic alliance we talked about. Improve our outbound process and execute our lead gen strategies better. So these are some specific things that we have up here for 2024. Team and leadership. So one of the objectives here, identify a recruiting process to hire my next coach. What's that going to look like? Who is that person? I have to do that first. I want to have better team engagement days, even if it's just me. Only one person got that. And, think about how we can become more supportive, right? So is there an organization, just so you guys know, the lunch that we're doing today is with Joshua's Tree, which is a part of the Lord's Place, which helps feed and house homeless around our community. So that's a thing we do when we're here. So any complaints on the food, just remember, you're really kind of being a jerk. Might as well get that out before lunch. On the house side, I got to meet with recruiters. I got to look, there's something that we're looking at as it relates to an acquisition for another coach, just buying up another practice. Schedule time with team to discuss causes put together. So you see like the specifics that I have listed here. What you don't see on the screen is anything that we can't achieve. There is nothing unreasonable. There are no dreams on that screen. We're going to do that. We're going to deliver the stuff that's on the screen. The things that I do every day, enroll new clients, meet new clients, work on referrals, the work we do with clients every single day, that's not on my plan. Why? Because it's part of working in the business. The idea of this plan is building a plan for the on. And there's so many of you that I interact in this room with that are growing your business year over year, but you're growing it by grinding in the business. And we talked about this at the last Growth Club. Grind less, work smarter more. And that's our objective as we're here, right? When you build this plan. So I really am encouraging you to build plans that fit into these categories that you can achieve by adhering to what you say you're going to do week in and week out. So you're now jumping to take your list of 25, bring it down to 3 to 5. Actually, that's wrong. Bring it down to 3. Pick one personal. Load that on page 11 in your book. And you got 15 minutes to do it.
Thinking about why we're trying to determine time, team, and money when it comes to goals. And really, it's about building some structure around it. What we often find is people get a little overwhelmed by the goals, right? And so they start thinking with a blank slate, and they start to spin on where do I want this to go. But if you shrink it down, just like we're doing in these next couple exercises, to just thinking about time. What can I do in my business to make myself more efficient, make my business more efficient, maybe potentially provide solutions to your clients to be more efficient, right? Maybe it's time blocking. Maybe it's software. Maybe it's automation, systemization, all those things, right? So that's why we're trying to shrink that down, to continue to make it easier to focus on what should be next. And so the next exercise, as we were just doing all the big 2024 goals, so we went through 5 ways, we went through the areas of focus, right? We went through listing 20 to 25 annual goals, and we put our 3 most important plus a personal. Now we're going into first quarter, right? So we need to take those annual goals and continue to synthesize those and shrink them down into what you can actually accomplish in the first quarter that still goes towards that target goal. So for instance, for us, if we're thinking about creating 5 tools this year for our clients, what can we do in the first quarter? We're only going to say we're going to do 1. We're going to get 1 done in quarter 1 because of other needs for the business, right, that may not focus in that area. So we're, again, shrinking things down, making it simpler and things that can be accomplished in the given time. Then the same thing with revenue. So if your goal for the year is to do $1 million, don't just cut it in 4s and say, I'm going to do 250 in the first quarter, because we know everyone's business has ebbs and flows to it, right? Sometimes your first quarter is the busiest one. We're in Florida. Seasonal businesses. Right? Sometimes winter is the busiest, and opposite times, or opposite for some businesses that benefit through the off season. And so think about how that breakdown works as you take that annual revenue goal and shrink it down to the first quarter. You can see we're just trying to do 21% of our annual goal, because we know there's factors within our business the following 3 quarters where we're going to expect some increases, okay? It's just like when you make a budget, right? Everybody knows what a budget is. And you're going to spend X amount of dollars in an expense category and you just divide it by 12. Well, that's not always accurate, right? Today's the day to take the time to think through that a little bit further to make this as accurate as possible. And the same thing with team. You can't accomplish your entire 2024 goal in the first quarter, but maybe you can. But as you sit here today, try to chunk it down, because we're going to go further. We're going to chunk it down into weeks as well, right? So what can you get accomplished in quarter 1 that'll still drive you towards your your 2024 goal? And that's on the next page, okay? So each of those goals we're going to shrink down. We're going to make notes of what we can do January, February, March of 2024 to get to the goal that the previous page said we wanted to achieve. You've got 10 or so minutes on that. Go.
Who knows what a focus sheet is? Some of you.
Some of you.
Yeah, exactly. So I just want to do a quick reminder to explain what the focus sheet is and how we use it. So we're going to play this video. So if you guys could put your eyes on the screen, this will give you a little bit of an explanation about how we got here, and then we're going to talk about the focus sheets.
Here comes Joe. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you already saw it.
Good afternoon, everyone. We all have this one life to live. Fleeting shadow amongst all that exists in this vast universe. We have the ability to accomplish anything, truly anything, if we use our time wisely. Is this jar full? Is it full now? And how about now? Is the jar full now? Yes. Yeah. Now, I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. Golf balls are the important things, your family, your friends, your health, and your passions. The pebbles are the other important things, your car, your job, your home. The sand is everything else, it's just a small stuff. Now, if you put the sand into the jar first, you won't have room for the pebbles or the golf balls. The same is true of life. You spend all your energy and your time on the small stuff. You won't have time for all the really important things that matter to you. Pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Take care of the golf balls first, the really important things. Set your priorities, because everything else is just saying.
Yes. Professor, what is the your reference?
I'm glad you asked. It goes to show that no matter how full your life may seem to be, there's always room for a couple of years.
So I know some of you have seen that video before. I can't watch it enough because it's a good reminder. But here's another reminder. Most of you fill your days with water and sand from my interactions, right? These things that you let become your priority. So again, the purpose of today, right, is for us to be here and create a space in your business and in your day as you move forward to work on the things that are going to move you and your business forward. That's what this morning was all about, right? These aren't just intended to be these big dreams and hopeful things we do. Remember, I said on that sheet, excuse me, that we're going to achieve those things. Those are achievable within our daily tasks, within our weekly tasks. And the way we do it, if you can pull up the planner there, Matt. The way we do it is by honestly living and breathing by our focus sheets as a team. It's not there.
Sorry.
And that's what's in your book there. So I want to just show you a little example when the opportunity arises on screen of how we're going to take our plan and transition it into, what's that? No, transition it into the weekly focus sheets. So I'm just going to keep talking and filling the space while I wait for that thing to come up on screen. In your books, you're going to see that there's, I didn't stop that. There we go.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay. So here we go. First week. So here's what we're saying. This is the focus sheet that you should be using on a weekly basis. Now we understand what golf balls are, right? What are golf balls? Right? So we're going to turn family into business. Okay? So that video was about family. Your business is the same conversation, though. What are the important things that you need to do in your business? So we like to call this the working on the priorities of the business. So here's my position. Right now, there's no reason you can't fill out the first 4 weeks, which is what's in there, of just your golf balls. So just the stuff that is here. So you'll see if you went back to our plan that we had 3 things in our team, time, and money category, right? So on the team side, or on the time side, we said we're going to create tools. So what's the first thing I'm going to do the first week of January? We're going to work as a team. We're going to create the 10 tools that we would like to work on for clients. We're all going to make our lists. So we're ready to go, okay? So that is a golf ball. That's important. That's going to happen in that week. There's no reason I can't say that right now. Nothing's going to stop us from doing it. Lead gen result check-in with Joe, working on reach out to strategic partners, see if they have an interest, right? So I have that strategic partner thing as an idea. I'm going to make sure that happens in that week. And then work through the numbers for the potential acquisition or whatever I need to do to layer on another coach. So as you go forward, if you could scroll there, Matt, one more, onto the next page, you'll notice that in week 2, now I have, and this is the accountability part of using the focus sheet. So if you work with us, you get that accountability from us. If you don't, find a partner and have, do it with your team. We as a team every Monday go through our focus sheets together. And you know what no one's going to do? Come in and say, I didn't do last week's golf balls. Right? You don't want to be in that position. Now, number one, the bosses, the owners in the room, you can't roll in and not do your golf balls. Why? Why? Right, you set the example, but you open the door for everybody else not to do their golf balls. So this says these are the things we said we were going to do, and we're going to do them. Technically, we can't check those off yet because they're not done, but we're going to get them done. And then here's the next week's, which is continuation of the work I need to do to deliver what our first quarter plan is. So what we're saying is you now have a first quarter plan in front of you. Break down your to-dos for the first 4 weeks, right? You can't check anything off, but there's no reason you can't plan out 4 weeks because you shouldn't change anything in 4 weeks. That's not enough data, right? So even if you're working on a lead gen strategy that you're going to have in there under your money category, you're not going to change it in 4 weeks because you really haven't collected enough information unless it's a paid ad or something like that. But you'll notice here with some of that, let's continue to lead gen check-in, so we're working on those things. So for the next 10 minutes or so, you're going to, I'm asking you to, fill out your focus sheets. And here's one other thing, most important. Use them. This is not a tool for me, right? As if I'm your coach or Matt is your coach, the focus sheet is not our sheet. It's your sheet to move you and your business forward. So for those of you that use them religiously, sorry for the term, but great, keep doing it. For those of you that don't, let's layer this into our work because it's going to help you get more stuff done.
And remember to give yourself a break sometimes as you set a goal. Brainstorming, list making, as we listed, those are actual activities in the first couple of weeks that help you build momentum towards your goal. You don't have to accomplish it by week 2. Week 1 might just be, I'm going to block an hour to just think about it and make some notes. That counts. That will build momentum towards that goal.
Reasonable goals. All right, guys. 10 minutes and then it's lunch.